Hi everyone, I'm Nikki Novak and I am here with Jennifer Lee. Jennifer, it's so great to see you.
Great to see you too.
This is a very big, D23 is such a big thing.
Yes.
Is this like your birthday? How does this feel for you?
I feel like this might be one of the biggest ones yet. I'm absolutely having a blast, and it's so great because we have an incredible performance from Moana 2.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So, yeah, Ali is here in Dwayne, and she is performing the first song in the film. There's an incredible trailer we've released, so people are getting a deeper look into the story that we're telling from Moana 2. But it's always great to hear Ali sing. Her voice is incredible, and I can't wait for people to get the first sample of the new music.
Okay, so this is new music, brand new music for this film. What can you tell me about the song?
Well, the song today is the opening number in the film, and what's really wonderful is, Emily and Abigail have worked as the songwriters, have done an incredible job working with Opataya and Mark Mancina from the first film, so it has that powerful feel of Moana and the incredible music of the culture, the community, but then it also has this wonderful, you feel this new journey for Moana in the song. She's a little older. She's got the incredible spirit she has, but also you get this sense of the new journey to come, which I love.
Well, Moana is the animated movie I think I've seen the most number of times, because it is that movie that if you're having a down day or whatever, you can put it on. And so how does this film differentiate itself from the first one? How will it be similar?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you think about a lot of people who do know the film is like, she wanted to restore the heart of Te Fiti. She was going on adventure for the first time, not knowing what was out there, not knowing what she could lose. She was young and she had that great chutzpah. She's a little older now. And now she's being tasked with an even bigger journey. And this is one she's got a new little sister.
Yeah.
So much harder to leave home. She now understands the dangers that are out there. So it's a little harder to leave. But this is about, the first one was about the past. This is about the future of her people. And she needs to connect the people of all the ocean together. And that's falling on her, and go to skies she's never seen before. So it's a much bigger journey, and it's one that is going to ask even more of her than ever before. Thank God Maui's out there, I think she says. They find each other, and they find, I feel like, what is a stronger sense of what they are capable of than they ever knew.
So let's talk about Dwayne. We have to talk about Dwayne. Coming back, and then he's also going to be in the live action version. Have you talked to him about how, he already has the physicality for it, but sort of how is that going to look?
I think that's what's so fun is we've never done anything like this before.
I don't think it's ever been done in history.
It's not been done before, but it was, the thing is, the live action versions of anything, we tend to, it's a different team, and we tend to say that's your interpretation and how fun that is. But in this one, it was something that Dwayne just is Maui, and to us, and he feels, he exudes it in every part of who he is, and not just in his incredible voice. So for us, it was just such it feels very organic and really fun. And his commitment to Moana, how wonderful he has been and supportive. It's been great. But we've also had some creatives, Jared Bush and Dana Miller, who write Moana 2, and Jared was on the first Moana. They have written the live action, so there's a different bridge than we've ever done. So I'm really excited about that.
Wow. Okay, so
that collaboration.
Let's talk Frozen. Where are you in the process, first of all?
Well, we are very early on.
Okay.
But what people have been wondering what we're aiming for. So today we're announcing that, we're aiming for November of 27 for Frozen 3.
Okay.
We are doing Frozen 4 at the same time, and I've never done that before. So we're working in a room where we have this half of the room's Frozen 3, this half of the room's Frozen 4. We're standing in the middle, going back and forth, getting our steps, having a good time. But it's very early, and today we did something we've never done before, which is we brought up our very first piece of concept art by the incredible production designer Brittany Lee, and it's concept art. So that means it's like we're in development. These are ideas. Our concept art helps re-inspire us as storytellers. It's not the final. It's not even close to what the movie's going to be yet in terms of us knowing. So we get a little nervous, but we're also going, this is D23. These are the best Disney fans. They are so giving to us. And so we just felt like, can we let them in our process in a way, in a different way? And so I'm excited.
So for fans that you mentioned, Elsa and Anna, what can we expect? I mean, I know you said you're very early on, but what can we expect from those two and where they're at this point,
Yeah.
the beginning of 3?
I can't give anything away except to say that what we put up today is a lot of questions. We showed a slide that said we have a lot of questions. One of those questions we put up is who gave Elsa her powers? And another question is what happened to Hans? Those were listed today. We also, is it hoo-hoo or you-hoo? It's hoo-hoo. But we put a lot of questions up there that will be answered. So I have a feeling if someone took a little picture of that, you would start to see. And that's only the first page of questions. So maybe I'll leave it to the questions to see if anyone can find any clues in there. Because that's how early on we are.
So Into the Unknown and Let It Go, obviously bangers. People love them. Where are you in the music, the musicality of it all?
Well, obviously, I think music is such a critical part of Frozen. So for us, when I say we're early on is where we are not even fully scripted yet. We're in early scripting. So it's too soon to know where the musical language will go.
Okay.
But it will be Frozen musical language, and that's important. So there's a lot to come there. But this is that stage now where it's about, we always start with story, and even with our songwriters, we start with story. And we work story back and forth every day. So that's really the early stages that we're in.
How do you decide on the one, though? Because I imagine there's so many ideas thrown out.
Yeah.
How do you know? Because until fans see it, until audiences respond, there's always that question of, are we going down the right path?
Yeah, well, I think it's always the question I think we ask and push ourselves every day as we're building anything. I think there's something I remember the moment we first heard Let It Go, and Bobby and Kristen brought it in after a weekend of, I think they discovered it in the park. They were in Prospect Park in Brooklyn, and it sort of started to flow, and we heard it, and there was just this thing where it resonated so powerfully with us that we even rewrote the film in support of that song, and that's where I knew something was special was going on, and that's all you can know. We didn't know if you can't really know if it's going to resonate. You can only know what you all feel collectively, and it did something that was really powerful for us. And it's not just one of us, it's a group of us. So you start to see the excitement on each other's faces, or the inspiration it triggers, or the emotion it triggers. And those are your clues, I think.
Yeah. Zootopia 2. Let's talk about Zootopia 2. The animation in this movie was so beautiful. Obviously, it won, for Best Animated Feature. But you have a new casting announcement. You have new. Can you talk a little bit about that?
In a fun way, we have reptiles in this, which is new to our mammalian world, which is great. So Kui Huy Quan has decided to be one of our main characters, Gary, who's an incredible snake, and people are getting a little glimpse of Gary today here at D23, which is wonderful. They're also going to get to see the marshlands, the marsh market, which is actually aquatic mammals. We forget that as well. So getting to see the interaction of them in the world, I think, is pretty fantastic as well.
Okay, so I want to ask you personally. I love the Disney princesses, and fans have been requesting for so long a Disney princess team up. Is that something you would ever entertain, or is it too complicated, or is it something you would ever do?
What's funny is I know we had a fun collaboration we did with Lego recently, and it's on Disney Plus, and that was one of the first times that I had seen princesses come together that way, and we had a blast. And I know that I always say never. To me, it has to come. How we work at Disney Animation, it comes from a filmmaker, and it comes from the story. And if it's a great story, it might be complicated, or someone might find an extraordinary way to do it. So I'll go with what Simone Biles said recently about if she'll keep going, which is never say never. So,
okay, so I'm going to go one further with that. The 100-year anniversary that you just had last year, you did a short film where we saw so many of the classics, and it made me want a full-length feature. Is that something that you think? Because then you'd be dipping into like way back as well.
Yeah, there are a couple filmmakers right now who did that short that are just hearing you say that. And I think, again, never say never. What was really fun about that project for us was we didn't know if we brought our hand-drawn and CG together, how would they work together? And they really did. And to get to see characters, Moana, holding a character from Little Mermaid, and like getting to see that integration, I think for all of us, it sparked a real excitement and obviously just a lot of emotion because this is the whole legacy together. So we'll see.
Well, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Happy D23.
Happy D23.